Hi, this is Tony again from Cooking Around. Welcome to my kitchen. Guess what? Today, later on, I'm going over to see some friends. They invited me for coffee and they said, I know you can cook. I want you to bring something. So I said, what do you want me to bring? They said something Christmassy. Now what is something Christmassy? I mean, we're in the middle of November. So I'm going to bake a cake. And it's going to be an orange cranberry cake. Very, very fast, very easy, very smooth with yogurt and some butter. And it is going to be awesome, especially when you add the cranberries. Now I found these frozen. I know you can find it fresh, but hey, by the time I go through all of Poland, Krakow looking for this stuff, I'll never find it. So I'm going to use frozen. It'll work just as good. Trust me, I've done it before. And we're going to add a simple icing topping, which is awesome. So here we go. Let's get going. We're back. Get yourself one of these fancy things. And what I want you to do is I want you to get 2 cups of flour. That's 1 and 2 all-purpose flour or cake flour, whichever you want. And I want you to basically shift it. And there we go. And now I want you to add 1 teaspoon of baking soda. That's 1.5. Half a teaspoon of baking soda. And I'm using vanilla sugar. Now, if you want, you can use liquid. I would use 1 teaspoon of liquid vanilla extract. Here I'm using 1 and 2 sugared vanilla. Now, before anything else, I want you to stir this very, very well to get the baking soda and the baking powder mixed very, very well. And 1 cup of sugar. There we go. Now, our dry ingredients is done. Now we're going to take care of our wet. Here I squeezed 1 orange, just to show you here. 1 orange, and I used this handy dandy little thing, and I left the pulp to give it a little bit more pizzazz. So we add 1 juice of 1 orange, 1 tablespoon of orange zest, half a teaspoon of salt, 1 egg slightly beaten, and about a half a cup of natural plain yogurt. There you go. And now we're going to mix that all around. Now at this stage, we're not going to add any more liquid until I see the consistency of the flour. Okay, now what I'm going to do, 1/4 cup of butter. And we're going to move that all the way around. To add some milk. But the way I want you to do it is just add a little bit of milk at a time, like that. Stop and stir, because we don't want it to get too liquidy. And I want you to scrape the sides like this and the bottom. And as you can see, it's still a little bit thick. Just add just a little bit of milk at a time. Do not overdo it. And that's basically the way I want the batter. So let's go on to our next stage. And now you grab one of these baking pans. This one happens to be Teflon, but you know, after a while, Teflon does not work properly anymore. So I'm going to show you a little trick. And I don't care how expensive they are. After a while, they start to go down. So what I want you to do, just grab a little bit of butter like this and take a little pinch with your hands. Don't worry, it's not going to hurt you. And I want you to paint the whole inside of the pan with the butter. This is a little trick that my mother showed me. And I'm going to get it all on the bottom and into the sides. Don't worry, you can always wash your hands. It's not going to hurt you. Get up on the rim, just like that. And now grab a little bit of your flour and just coat the bottom like that. Sprinkle a little bit like this. And then what I want you to do is just shake everything and get it all the way around like that. Don't worry about using a little bit too much flour. Flour is cheap. Don't worry about the mess. You can always clean it. we bring that down like this, like that. Now, take your excess and shake it out. There we have it, we're ready to go. And now, grab your pan that's been already buttered and floured in order for it not to stick, and you grab yourself your mixture and you pour that all down into the center. And now, for the cranberries, I don't mix the cranberries with the batter. I like the cranberries to be basically on top. I don't know, for some reason it gives it a better taste, a better texture. So at this point right now, I want you to take about a little bit more than half a cup of cranberries and just kind of sprinkle it all on top. Now, as it starts to heat, this will embed and it will basically go down and it will find its place into the batter. I kind of like it like this, and then when you cut it, you get a better appearance. There you go, just like that, nothing fancy. Now this will go into the oven anywhere between 325 to 350 degrees for anywhere from 40 to 50 minutes. So I shall be back. Alright, well, back. Here we go. Grab yourself a nice handy dandy little bowl here. Let's bring that closer to the camera. And I want you to take some icing sugar and I want you to put in 1 cup, so more or less what it is. There you go, about that. You could put more, you could put less, depending on what you want. And now we're going to add about 3 tablespoons of milk. Now if you want it to be thicker, the icing, I would suggest that you use cream. There you go. And keep the milk on the side just in case you need it. And we're going to just move that around. Now this is a very, very simple type of icing. It is not complicated, it will go on top. Now what we're going to do is get it a little bit more liquidy. You can see that's, and basically that's what we want, and we will be using that over our cake mixture. And I shall be back. Alright, here we are. It's been about 40 minutes. Let's take it out of the oven. Oh, does that ever look good? Take a look at that. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Now, what you're going to do is take one of these sticks here, and I want you to stick it right down in the someplace and pull it back and see how it's done. Now, you can see it's still not done. It's still a little bit wet. So, back into the oven for about 10 minutes. Oh, let's take a look. Here we go. There it is. And how does that look? Now, let's give it a little test for the second time. And we're going to start right there in the middle, right about there. And we pull it out, and it is absolutely perfect. So what am I going to do? I'm going to let this cool for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then I'm going to bring it out and I'm going to cool it on this rack for another, what, 20-30 minutes, and then I'm going to put the icing on top. And now take the loaf very gently and I place it on the plate like that, because it's going to get very messy now. And you take your topping sugar mixture that we have made already. And like I said, I used milk, but if you want it more thick, I would advise you to use the cream. And what I did was, I dropped in a little bit of orange extract, or you can put a little bit of lemon extract or vanilla extract, whatever you want here. And we just proceed to drop it all over the cake. Now the way you put it can be any way you want. Zigzag, evenly coated, and there it is. Absolutely perfect. Now I want to thank you very much for allowing me to present this recipe for you. I'm sure my friends are going to love it. I'm sure you're going to love it. Thank you again from Tony and Cooking Around. See you again. Bye bye.